Let's take a ride back in time and take a look at some beautiful vehicles that never made it to production. These concept cars were wild with infamous designs that are downright out of this world, but they never got to hit the road. And in today's video, we will take a look at innovative concept cars from the 90s and explain why they never made it. Number 10. 1997 Dodge Copperhead. The 1997 Dodge Copperhead was created to capitalize on its predecessor's success, the Viper. Then the Viper launched in 1992 and was basking in the limelight. So Copperhead was supposed to be a cheaper version of the exotic Viper. The sleek roadster, 2.7 liters V6, 220 horsepower, and 188 pound-feet of torque, made its debut in 1997 in order to compete with decent sports car performance and the same convertible rear-wheel drive layout. But unfortunately, it never saw production. So what happened? Chrysler blamed the death of the Dodge Copperhead on the high demand for SUVs, and that they'd be better off focusing on SUVs and allowing the successful Viper and Prowler to hold the sports car market. Number 9. 1991 Mercedes-Benz C112. For the 1990 racing season in Group C, Mercedes-Benz, in cooperation with the Swiss Sauber team, showed up with the C112. Quite successfully, the team won the World Championship at the end of the season. This spurred on the engineers at Mercedes-Benz, who wanted to transfer this performance optimally to the road at the physical limits with the highest level of active safety. The C112 features active body control, ABC sensors that detect all vehicle motions, vertical displacement, roll, and pitch. With its thumping active rear-wheel steering, it corrects directional deviation, an anti-lock braking system, ABS, and acceleration skid control, ASR. Equipped with all of these features, the C112 offers neutral handling irrespective of load and roadway condition, even during high-speed cornering. The Speed Demon was able to hit 0 to 60 miles per hour in 4.1 seconds and a top speed of 192 miles per hour, credited to its 6.0-liter V12 402 horsepower engine. Unfortunately, the C112 disappeared from the automotive world. So again, what happened? Sadly for all of us, the executives behind the project had departed the company by the time that the concept was revealed. The passion to take such an expensive project to production was lost, and the C112 never made it. Number 8. 1991 Audi Avis. The 1991 Audi Avis, named after a racetrack in Berlin, is a Marvel masterpiece of engineering that stole the car show back in 1991 in Tokyo. It's one of Audi's fantastic ways of letting our imagination run wild and hitting us with exceptional concept cars. Unfortunately, the Audi Avis wasn't destined for production. It may have actually been Audi's most promising concept of the 90s. It was an aluminum, W12-powered mid-engine supercar and sported 502 horsepower, all-wheel drive, all incredible performance numbers. Of course, Audi went on to make the aluminum A2 and the mid-engined R8, which doesn't come close to this unique concept. What happened? Audi never really saw a future for this vehicle, and it was more of an exploration of what they could do. Sadly, they even rejected at least dozens of potential customers willing to pay as much as $12 million to get their hands on one. Number 7. 1990 Chevrolet Corvette Serve 3. In January 1990, Chevrolet Corvette Serve 3 made its debut at the International Auto Show in Detroit. The car has a mid-engine V8 5.7-liter 33-valve, giving it a top speed of 225 miles per hour and 650 horsepower. Furthermore, it came equipped with such advancements as all-wheel drive, four-wheel steering, active suspension, a 6-speed automatic gearbox that ran through a turbocharged Corvette ZR1 5.7-liter V8 engine, and scissor-style doors, which gave it an even more exotic feel to the wild carbon fiber and Kevlar bodywork. What happened? Was this concept not production ready? Well, not quite. We just had to wait nearly 2 more decades for a true mid-engine Corvette. Number 6. 1993 Ferrari Conciso. Talk about a 90s concept car that you want to jump in and take for a drive. The Ferrari Conciso was unfortunately a one-off project by designer Bernd Michalak, using running gear from a Ferrari 328, which incidentally by 1993 had been replaced with the controversial 348 production car. The Conciso looks nothing like the 328, of course, but it does feature its 3.2-liter V8 engine and chassis under the Spartan, taut, and aerodynamic-looking aluminum bodywork. The triangular side duct is a sharper, more futuristic take on the traditional Ferrari styling feature, and the chopped-down windscreen and no-nonsense interior makes us think of classic 1950s Ferrari sports racers. Just take a closer look at this 90s concept car, and you'll see little bits and pieces of the 328 in the Conciso, like the taillights, gauges, and gated dogleg 5-speed. This concept car was last sold at R.M. Sotheby's Monaco auction for approximately $150,000. So just a quick timeout here. Before we move on to the last 5 concept cars on our list, we would like to ask you for a small favor. If you enjoyed the content so far, could you please just take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel? Over 98% of viewers that watch our videos do so without subscribing. It costs you absolutely nothing, but it really does make a huge difference to the growth of our small channel, so thank you. Alright, now let's go ahead and move on. Number 5. 1993 Porsche Boxster. In the 1990s, Porsche was struggling with production because manufacturing costs had skydived and the sales of its Porsche 911 dwindled. At the same time, Porsche's entry car, the 968 Coupe, that debuted in the mid-70s, was coming to the end of its life cycle. So Porsche needed a fresh perspective to compete in the auto market, so they came up with the pivotal, stunning Boxster concept car. The initial concept showcased a number of captivating details, such as polished air intakes, a centrally positioned exhaust, and a revolutionary liquid crystal display integrated into the dashboard. Under the skin, the Boxster concept boasted a 2.5-liter flat-six engine, capable of impressive performance figures. At the 1993 Detroit Auto Show, the Boxster concept car was the talk of the show, and everyone wanted to take her home. What happened? Well, everyone had to wait 4 more years for the chance. The production car was finally released for the 1997 model year. However, the transition to production saw the removal of several of its distinctive elements. But to this day, some staff of the automobile insist the original concept Boxster was easily the best 90s concept car of all, and perhaps even of all time. Number 4. 1995 Chrysler Atlantic. The Chrysler Atlantic concept car, designed by Bob Hubach, was inspired by the legendary Bugatti Antelique coupe of the 1930s, and it was indeed a head-turner from the moment it was unveiled at the 1995 Detroit Auto Show. Its long hood, sweeping lines, and pontoon fenders exuded a timeless elegance that resonated with enthusiasts and the general public alike. Under the hood, the Atlantic boasted a unique straight-8 engine, formed by cleverly combining 2 neon 4-cylinder engines. Now, while this power plant was a marvel of engineering, it also highlighted one of the main reasons the Atlantic never made it to production: the high cost of manufacturing such a complex vehicle. Despite its unrealized production potential, the Atlantic's impact was undeniable. It graced the stage at auto shows, captivating audiences with its beauty and innovation. It even found its way onto advertising and product packaging, further solidifying its place in automotive pop culture. Number 3. 1995 Ford GT90. If you've ever played the game Need for Speed 2 SE, well then you would have experienced the GT90's quad-turbo 6.0-liter engine. At the 1995 Detroit Auto Show, the GT90 was a completely fresh take, and almost seemed inspired by contemporary computer-aided designs in video games. The GT90 featured a quad-turbo 6.0-liter V12 engine and Jaguar XJ220-based chassis, able to hit a top speed at 253 miles per hour. In reality, though, the GT90 was inspired by the legendary Ford GT40 race cars. The GT90 reimagined their iconic design for the modern era. Its sharp angles, dramatic curves, and prominent rear wing screamed speed and performance, while its quad-turbocharged V12 engine, a first for Ford by the way, promised mind-bending power. And to top it off, the car even featured a unique glass house canopy that offered a panoramic view of the road ahead. In the end, of course, Ford built only one GT90, and though it was scheduled to come up for auction at RM Sotheby's in 2009, some rumor had it that this exceptional 90s concept car still resides with Ford somewhere in its warehouses. Number 2, 1996 Mazda Miata M Coupe. The M Coupe concept was a stunning one-off build for the 1996 New York Auto Show and served as a tantalizing glimpse into what could have been. Tom Matano, the visionary designer behind the Mazda Miata, dreamt of more than just a convertible. His ambition was to create a lineage of Miata models that would fill bookstores with histories of its evolution. The Miata M Coupe was central to this dream, envisioned as a grand tourer, blending practicality and performance. It had a sleek, fastback roofline, borrowing styling cues from the gorgeous third-generation Mazda RX-7, a romantic luggage rack, and subtle refinements that hinted at its grand touring potential. And under the hood, it featured a reliable reboot of a classic front-engine, rear-drive formula. Sadly enough, while this 90s concept car was fully drivable, it was a rough job under its shiny yellow paint with a heavy fiberglass roof. The vision also clashed with the realities of the automotive industry in the early 1990s. Safety regulations and a reluctance to deviate from the Roadster's purity led Mazda executives to dismiss Matano's proposal for a production coupe. Number 1, 1996 Ford Indigo. The Ford Indigo debuted at the 1996 Auto Show circuit. The engine was a 6.0-liter V12 crafted from two Ford Duratec V6 mills, and the chassis was a carbon fiber monocoque with advanced pushrod suspension. Now, blurring the lines between a road car and a single-seater racer, it prioritized speed and exhilaration above all else. Its open cockpit, lack of luggage space, and that powerful V12 engine mounted directly behind the occupants' heads made its purpose clear: to deliver an unadulterated driving experience. While the Indigo's performance potential was undeniable, its lack of practicality ultimately sealed its fate. The cramped cockpit, limited visibility, and absence of creature comforts made it ill-suited for everyday use. Despite its captivating allure, Ford ultimately decided against putting the Indigo into production, leaving it as a tantalizing what-if of the automotive history. And that is it. That is our list of the most innovative concept cars that you've probably ever seen. So which one of those was your favorite? Comment below and let's see who else agrees with you.